David Gamma, and I'm here repping SygacityGamers with the one and only ComboFiend. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm just chilling, final round.
Yes.
So you see all this, man. Good times, good times.
Definitely, man. I mean, we're glad to have you in the A. You're one of the more known players, within the community. And, you're here, of course, for Street Fighter, Marvel. Did you enter, any other tournaments or any other games?
Nah, before I used to just enter everything, but these days, when you get older, you kind of want to explore, you kind of want to go out, you kind of want to see what the city has to offer, You don't just go to play video games no more, you grow up. So I had to get myself a car, and I figure if I only enter the big games and I get eliminated, then I could just hop in the car and just drive off, So that was the strategy.
You know what? I like that, man. You guys got to get out the hotel room. It's a beautiful place down here in the A. Get some chicken and waffles. Do some other things. You know what I mean? So he has a good point. Don't just stay in the room and be salty after losing, right?
Yeah, you need an exit strategy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I've been asking, all the gamers, some of the same questions that I'm going to ask you. Speaking of Street Fighter, right? You have Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's been out for about a month. So first, let's talk about that. How do you feel about the game now that it's been out, with enough time for most people to get their hang and the feel of it?
Man, I think the game is really, really fun.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. You get to play the way you want to play. Well, actually, sorry. You need to be offensive based. If you're an offensive dude, then you love it. If you guys see my videos or whatever, I don't block. I don't care about that. It's one of us gotta die in like 10 seconds. It's cool. Whether it be me or you, one of us has to lose. So, I play that way. I guess it's been a lot of, it's just a lot of innovation going on right now. People figuring out what they like, what they don't like. Nothing's established really. People are learning how to fight certain characters that are deemed as cheap. Whether they be Phoenix or Sentinel or whatever. It's so fresh and new. It's a lot of possibilities going on.
No, see, that's a very optimistic outlook, and that's, I think a lot of gamers should give it a little bit more time. Go into training, develop your craft, and just learn how to play the game. And the reason why I say that is because the game so far has been catching a lot of flack. Some mixed reviews. Some people have said, hey, I'm sticking with Street Fighter. I don't like this game. Others have actually said, I love the game, and I'm done with Street Fighter. So speaking of that, how do you feel? Are you kind of, sticking to both? Are you going to keep playing the Street Fighter 4 series as well as Marvel? Or do you feel like there's a transition that's happening? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Nah, man, I play what people play. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I like Street Fighter. That game is fun, but unfortunately for me, I'm in SoCal, and, we got spoiled with Arcade Edition. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, that's also geared toward the offensive guys. So, I shine in that. Yes. Versus this console version, which is more geared toward the defensive guys who, own my soul. So, so I'll play both. Hopefully, Arcade Edition gets released in a timely manner so I could play that. Because if it's that version, like, it's just, I don't know what to do.
Right. And speaking of Arcade Edition, unfortunately, for us down here in the A, we don't have any real arcades. We don't have that yet. But you did mention that you had a chance to play it. What are your thoughts on it? And, we know that you use Guy. Now, what are your thoughts on your character and then overall, the game? Like, what's the differences that you've experienced and seen thus far?
Well, in the console version, what they did was they tried to make the defensive... they tried to make all the characters who sucked better, and all the characters who were better suck. Right. But they did like a pretty crappy job, because then they made some characters too good and others not as good, So you can't play the way you want to play. In the Arcade Edition, they actually tweaked it. So now characters who suck like Guy are actually like usable. You can actually put up a fight. You got some stuff going on. You got your offense going. Like he's a contender now. Yeah. A lot of the characters that weren't that good before are now contenders. People might cry about Yun being overpowered. It's just more work. But just like in anything, there's always characters who are just that much better than the other cast, but they're all beatable. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel as hopeless as console edition. Right. Like if you play Guy, Makoto, Cody, some rushdown characters who don't really have fireballs or whatever, you can't get through the walls like Balrog, Honda, Bison to an extent. All the charge characters are just Guile. You know what I'm saying? They're just too good. Exactly. And the way they play is so defensive, so it's boring. I don't like to be bored, so.
Right. And it's kind of amazing that, of all people, he would say that, because I've seen some of what he's done to people with Guy in Super Street Fighter 4, so I can only imagine what you're doing now in AE. Speaking that the character's a little bit more balanced and has a lot more, options as opposed to the console. So I'm pretty sure, you placed high in some tournaments, and in fact, I believe you even won a few, in your time. So What do you think the outcome now is going to be when that does become more mainstream and it becomes a tournament game? Do you think you're going to have a chance to win it all, or like what are you thinking about that?
Oh yeah. No, I'll definitely do well. I mean, as for winning, I don't know because I'm not using like Yun or something. I'm not using the characters that give you an advantage just at the selection screen. You know what I'm saying? I use characters that like take work, that aren't deemed as like really that good.
Right.
Because I find it more entertaining for myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I'll do well. I don't know if I'll win though. Before I used to say, man, I'm gonna win all the time. I used to go in there with the big head, and dudes would just deflate it instantly, and then I'd be like, I don't know if I'll win, and then I'd win. So I figure, you might as well not count your chickens before they hatch,
Exactly. Okay. Sound like he's just keeping it on the humble. Pretty sure he will win something, but I respect that. Now, obviously, you're a fighting game enthusiast first and foremost. Evo, I'm hearing Mortal Kombat 9 will be introduced. And of course, it's coming out shortly. How do you feel about that? Are you one of the gamers that actually had an interest in that series? Or are you like, whatever? Like, what are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 9?
I mean, from what I see, it looks all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really flashy.
Okay.
So, I mean, just from the look of it, it might be good, but I don't know about the actual playability of it.
Okay.
I haven't got my hands on it,
Okay.
Hopefully it is. The Ultimate Mortal Kombat series is pretty cool.
Okay.
So hopefully it's more fast-paced, more exciting, and then that could be fun.
Okay, that's cool. So you're definitely not going to judge that book till you read it yet, basically. Right. Okay, so now, speaking of Evo, what are your thoughts on Evo 2011? Like, are you anticipating anything? How do you feel about that event coming up in just a few months?
Well, I mean, I'm really excited because I didn't go to Evo last year.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to go to a wedding. So, yeah,
Stupid wedding.
I know, best man duties. You can't escape from that, right?
Right.
So I had to go to that. I couldn't go last year, but this year, I'm really excited just because I like the element.
Right.
You got like 3,000 fools, and they're all there, and they all like what they see, they all want to play. They're all about the passion,
Right.
It's like that's a good element to be. And then at night you escape and you go do whatever you want to do,
Exactly.
Or you just walk with a drink in hand,
You know what? I like this guy, man. He seems like he knows how to have a good time. Now, I've been asking all the gamers this question, and I want to ask you this because, I've seen a lot of you guys for years have been a part of this community. What do you think about a fighting game league? Yes, like the NBA, NFL, MLB. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, you're a gamer, you may be a little biased, and of course you want it. Or maybe you feel like, hey, it's a dumb idea, it shouldn't happen. Like, what do you think about that ever coming to fruition?
I think a league can only work if the salaries are something you could live off of, plain and simple.
Okay.
If you're going to ask somebody to be a professional at something,
Yes.
then it has to pay a wage that you can live off of.
Exactly.
Think about NBA players or, any other professional.
They can live 10 lifetimes.
Yeah, but they get fed though. Even the bench warmer gets fed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're telling me that, we could have a team of 5 and we're all getting to the point where we could live off that, so we can actually dedicate ourselves to playing and practicing and, really getting it in like those Koreans do,
Right.
then, then you could see us with a league.
Okay.
But, until that day happens, it's just a nice fantasy to have, Or at this point in time, it's just all done through the passion of it,
Right.
You do it because you want to do it.
Okay.
You form a league because, you like your area.
Yeah.
Like let's say I formed a SoCal team.
Okay.
That's because I just believe SoCal's the best.
Oh, okay.
And I do believe SoCal's the best.
Okay,
Just
okay.
so you guys know out there, SoCal is the best. So
Right.
yeah, there you go. Just letting you know.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I mean, I would form a team just because I feel like it,
Right.
not because fools are gonna eat off it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
until that day comes, until it's like real professional, then that's when I could see an actual league happening with actual teams, and that would be exciting.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. Hopefully that happens for all the future guys out there.
Okay, absolutely. So it sounds like you have no objections to that idea. As long as the terms and conditions are right and everyone can benefit from it. So that's definitely a good thing. So now, ComboFiend, like I said, you've been around for quite some time. Let's say the league doesn't happen anytime soon. Where do you see yourself 5 years down the road from now? Are you like a lifelong gamer? You're always going to be a part of this community? Is it something that, you feel like, hey, I'm going to have to retire sometime? What are your thoughts on that? Gamers, as they're getting older, still being a part of the community?
Well, I mean, you should only do it until you don't enjoy it anymore.
Okay.
I do this because it's entertaining to me, Like, I genuinely like traveling.
Okay.
So whenever I have a chance to go somewhere, I want to go.
Right.
It happens to be at a video game tournament.
Right.
That's cool too, because I get to meet fellow people that play games. So hey, bonus there, right?
Right,
Right.
right.
I mean, I don't just contain myself to the tournaments anymore like I used to. So it's more fun for me. You know, I get to do a lot more stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, as long as they keep popping out something new and it doesn't get stale, or you know, the players that play are cool, you know, I'll show up. You know, a lot of it's the community these days.
Okay.
So you know, I do like the community.
Yes.
I like hanging around. You know. So.
All right. So you know, that makes sense. I definitely respect that. Now, you know, I've spoken to some players that mentioned things about sponsors. Some have been sponsored, some are no longer sponsored. What's going on with that, you know, in terms of you? Is that something that you would ever consider? Do you have any talks in the work, or are you just like, no, I don't want to get sponsored, I'm just having fun as is?
Well, you know, with the sponsorships these days, it's still too new.
Okay.
You know, the incentive for a lot of the players it's all right if you're young, you know, because I think the main incentives are, I think it's like airplane flights and hotel rooms or something, you know,
yeah.
but if you're an adult, you cover it yourself, you know?
Right.
So what are you really doing? Like, what are you really giving the player that can do it for himself?
Right.
You know? And then that player is then obligated.
Okay.
You know, like, I mean, you know, there's nothing for free in this world, so it's fine to be obligated through a contract, you know, and you perform or you do your job, you know, because then it's a job once you know, once you get that. And sometimes I'm a little skeptical about that because, you know, I do this for the passion, you know, I do it because it's fun,
Right.
you know, and then if I'm obligated to do it, then I might take it away. It might take the passion away, you know, because then it's like a job again,
Okay.
you know. This is like my hobby right now.
Right.
And then, you know, if the hobby becomes your work, then suddenly...
May not have the same, you know, element in effect. Oh, okay, you know, you dropped some knowledge on us right there. I definitely appreciate that. So, you know, any last thoughts? Any like, you want to give any shout-outs? Anything that I didn't ask you about that you know care to share with the audience?
You know, I mean, I'm really just reacting to whatever you're asking me. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm not sitting here pondering no deep thoughts or nothing. You know, I just shout-outs to, you know, the Run crew out there in LA, you know, family. So, other than that, good. I'm good.
Okay. And last, I gotta ask this. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You know, we just saw the grand finals for Super Street Fighter 4. PR Balrog took that. First of all, let me ask you about that. What do you think about that matchup and, you know, the outcome of it?
Well, I mean, Balrog is so good in that game, you know, and Akuma's pretty good too. You know, he's actually really, really good as well. Takedo plays him pretty much to perfection. Okay. You know, and I think PR Balrog plays Balrog to perfection. Exactly. You know, so you had two of the Titans, yeah. You know, and you know, you clutched it out. It could have went either way, to be honest. It could have went either way.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true, definitely. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 now, you're still in the runners for that, correct?
Yeah, I'm a winner.
So now, what are your thoughts on that? Like, you know, is there anyone that you feel like, okay, this guy is probably going to be in the finals guarantee, or do you feel like it's free for all?
Well, I was like, oh, Justin's gonna just smoke it, you know. Justin got this, you know. Right. But at the same time, there's still a bit of randomness to the game. Okay. You know, that X factor and things like that. They put the dice roll in there, so you can never be too comfortable. Right. You know, so until it is what it is, it is what it is. You know.
Absolutely. Hey man, thank you so much. This is your man David Gamma, repping SygacityGamers here in the A, final round 14 with ComboFiend. Thanks a lot, brother. Right, appreciate it.